Right when I think things are about to get better, they get way, way worse. So what's going on, guys? Your boy TheFlightMike back again with some more NBA news, and the news just keeps getting worse and worse. And by the way, for those of you guys that are hating on me for bringing you guys this news, just bear in mind, I do not get monetized whenever I discuss this topic. So I'm doing this just because it's a service that I provide to you guys as my followers. I've been reading your comments about the intros and the ads. So as a result, there are no intros, there are no ads. Well, there is an intro, there are no ads, but really quickly, drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you are a supporter of this channel. I don't know what's going to become of this channel, guys. It's very nerve-wracking considering all the news that's going on currently. And if you want to further support me, if you're into football content, check out Microphone. It's another YouTube channel that I created that covers football content. If you're into soccer, check out Flight FC. It's my soccer YouTube channel. And finally, I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch if you guys want to come through and run some Call of Duty Warzone with your boy, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself as this news keeps coming out with myself at the moment. Now, for those of you guys that are wondering why I'm so freaking out right now, it's not because there's absolutely nothing to watch on ESPN besides bowling. It's because as time's progressing forward, the news is getting worse and worse. And we've heard this many times. I'm sure everyone that's watching this video has heard a plethora of times that the situation's gonna get worse before it gets better. And we could all agree with that, all right? It's gonna get worse before it gets better. And this is a clear indication of one of those situations, because as I'm recording this video, the CDC has dropped a bombshell on us, and I'm warning you guys, it's gonna get worse. It's not like, I wouldn't be surprised if we are all gonna be quarantined in our homes within the next week. I feel like that's why people are buying up all the toilet paper at every single grocery store. Luckily for me, I have a decent amount of almond milk at my crib, but that's besides the point. Look, I'll tell you why I'm so animated right now. The CDC just came out and recommended no gatherings of 50 plus people in the United States for the next 8 weeks. So prior to this video, I was actually still doing my thing. You know, like I would go to the gym. The gym would be significantly more empty, but I would still go. You know, I was still walking around the street. You know, I would wash my hands and I would make sure not to touch my mouth, but I was still doing my thing. But this news right here is what terrifies me the most, because check this out. I'm not talking only about myself. The CDC recommending no gatherings of 50 plus people in the United States for the next 8 weeks means one thing. It means that if you sit down and did the advanced calculus that is required to crunch up the numbers, you would find that 8 weeks from now would put you in a early June situation, maybe late May, early June. And I'll tell you why that's so annoying, because that means that for at least 2 months, if you put 2 and 2 together, there's more than 50 plus people attending basketball games. And I feel like there's more than 50 plus people if you were to take out all of the fans in the stands. You know, if you were just counting for the coaches and the entire teams and the referees, and of course maybe the maintenance staff or maybe the people announcing the game, if the announcers would even be there. If you factor all of that, even empty arena basketball games are not going to be available until early June or mid-June. And that really, really sucks. And this is just according to my own take. And right when I come up with my own take, guess what I see on Twitter? According to everyone's favorite source, and we all, I don't know about you guys, some people are Shams people, some people are Woj people. Woj is my favorite resource, and I'm gonna quote his tweet exactly. A CDC recommendation of no events of 50 plus people for the next 2 months comes as a number of NBA owners and executives increasingly believe a best case scenario is a mid to late June return to play with no fans. League scouting for possible arena dates all the way through August, which means that the NBA season, or the proposed NBA schedule, would start in June, it would end in August, which is really interesting because if you think about it, there's a couple of questions I have to ask, and it's kind of unfair for me to even ask these questions considering the fact that we're dealing with a scenario that we've never dealt in human history. We're seeing leagues shut down. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. My question is, and I know this is such a tiny question, once the NBA resumes, is it going to resume back into the regular season? Are we going to pick up where we left off? Are we still going to get the opportunity to see Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans try to chase the Memphis Grizzlies for the 8th seed in the Western Conference? Are we going to see Kevin Durant possibly make a return in a Brooklyn Nets uni? Are we going to see him make his debut this year, but without Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving's now injured? Are we going to see Kevin Durant take the Brooklyn Nets through the playoffs right now? Are we going to see, I don't know, maybe Klay Thompson returns for the Golden State Warriors? Are we going to be able to see Klay Thompson make his debut with Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry this year? Although they don't really have much to play for, that would still be fascinating, right? But the most important question that I have is, if the season ends in August, does that mean that they're going to only take a month-and-a-half break off and then resume back in October? Is it going to be business as usual back in October? Or are they going to push it off maybe till November and shorten next year? I understand that the CBA might be coming around soon, so typically there is a lockout whenever they're dealing with a brand new CBA, but that isn't until like eons and eons away. So there's a lot of questions to be asked in regards to not only how things are being handled in response to our current situation, but the infrastructure of the NBA. But there's even more to go about this, guys, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Basketball players might not get their full salaries as a result of this situation. And we're already hearing a few rumblings about this situation right now. According to multiple articles, I'm going to quote this one from CBS, the NBA Players Association expects players to be paid in full during the hiatus despite the collective bargaining agreement listing a provision that says that the NBA could take some of their money back if a scenario like this were to occur. Now, for those of you guys that aren't aware of this rule, it's in the CBA Article 30, is that 39? Yeah, Article 39, Section 5. And the NBA CBA says that in addition to any other rights a team or the NBA may have by contract or by law, if a force majeure event occurs and as a result one or more teams are unable to play one or more games, whether exhibition, regular season, or playoff games, then for each missed exhibition, regular season, or playoff game during such period, the force majeure period, that was not rescheduled and replayed, the compensation payable to each player who was on the roster of a team that was unable to play one or more games during the force majeure period shall be reduced by 1/92.6 of the player's compensation for the season covering the force majeure period. Now, for those of you guys that aren't sure what that means, pretty much it's a bunch of fancy jargon saying that the NBA could take about 1.4% of a player's salary away if for whatever reason they were not able to play that season or a couple of games. And this is causing a little bit of concern amongst NBA players and the NBA, as I'm sure you can understand. If you told someone that you're getting less money that was originally promised to you, they're not going to be the happiest person. Now, a memo was sent to the NBA players by the NBA Players Association to inform them that a provision like this does exist because the league has not brought it up in discussions with the players' union. Additionally, the Players Association sent a memo on Saturday explaining that they fully expect players to be paid on their typically scheduled paydays, and this is according to Shams Charania of The Athletic. So, as you can see, the entire infrastructure of the game could be completely changed. And for those of you guys that need an example of how much money a player would lose, LeBron James could lose about $404,000 per game this season of his salary for those games that he's missed. That's how much players are losing if this provision was to kick in. Now, you have to also understand, on the flip side of things, as profitable as the NBA is, they have been taking a lot of L's in terms of their business this season. In the very beginning, we know what happened with them in China and the Daryl Morey tweet, and now we're dealing with this current crisis, which resulted in them having to suspend their NBA season. So, for the most part, you could understand that the NBA isn't going through the best time right now. I don't think any sport is, and they kind of have a right to say to their players, listen, due to these extenuating circumstances, we kind of need your guys' help. So these are a bunch of scenarios that are arising as a result of our current situation. But the main point of this video, guys, is the fact that unfortunately we are not going to get basketball until the middle of June. Yes, it may come with Kevin Durant playing for the Brooklyn Nets. It may come with Klay Thompson playing with the Golden State Warriors, and that's my own speculation. That's not even a confirmed thing. But on the flip side of things, we may have to wait another 2 months until this entire situation passes us. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date with as much news as possible. Make sure you guys are subscribed. You drop a like on the video to support me, not because you like the news, but to support me, and turn on notifications. I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch right now at the conclusion of this video, so come on through. I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'll catch you guys later.